Yo guys, welcome back to another Escape from Tarkov video. I really hope you guys enjoyed the last video when we were discussing about the new customs expansion and all the extra loot spots and loot guide that I kind of did on that map. It's been doing really well on YouTube, so I want to just say a massive thank you to all the new subscribers to the channel and also the new people who commented on the video as well, and the comments were lovely and really picked my day up actually after that. So just a massive thank you to you guys for the support on that one. But today I'm bringing you something a little bit different, new and improved guns. So looking at the a really awesome budget gun that's recently been added into the latest patch of Escape from Tarkov, the Mossberg. Now this shotgun is caused up a bit of a fuss because at the price that you can buy it for, and now obviously now with the shotgun buff this patch, and also the using stuff like Facellis and AP20 rounds, makes this gun an absolute monster of a geared killer for low budget, low money gun. Now I've made myself a little setup that I've been using now for a little while, and I've got some really awesome clips I want to show you guys of what this kind of setup can do. But firstly, before we get into that, I want to run through with you exactly how I've built this gun out and what I've got on it. So the gun itself is going to be completely bog standard. Realistically, you don't have to do anything to it. It just slaps from the moment go, as long as you're using the decent rounds in it. Like I said, AP20 for those people who want to get a little bit of extra range and make sure that you can actually hit your targets and get on point, because like I said, with slugs you've only got one shot. You got to make that land, because if not, then you're cocking. You got to make sure you got to cock back and then fire another round off and make sure that one hits as well. But like Facelli, where you've got a little bit more of a leniency with the actual round itself, because it fires off pellets, a couple of different pellets, so you know you've got more chance of actually hitting somebody if it spreads a little bit further out. So it's better for those people who haven't got the best of shot to be using that round over the AP20. But if you want to do as much damage to a geared person as possible, then AP20 is the way to go. There's no doubt about that whatsoever. But yeah, so I've the gun itself is actually completely stock. I haven't really done anything to it, but looking at the armor and also the rig setup that I'm taking in with me as well, to obviously minimize spend, getting the budget down to as low as possible, but obviously maximizing the amount of returns that we can get from it at the same time by you know, getting as much gear in from other players, and also obviously from looting maps as well at the same time. So let's crack straight into the video, and I'll show you exactly what I was going on. And just before we go anywhere, guys, remember to like the video, comment and subscribe for more videos like this. I've got plenty of new ideas for Escape from Tarkov, the other things that people aren't quite touching on that I think needs to be spoken about and added on into the game. So remember to get involved with that and subscribe so you don't catch or miss any of the new content coming from myself over there. But let's crack into the video. So guys, just continuing on from what I was saying, the kit that I've decided to make up for this particular budget run or budget build that we've been doing here using the Mossberg and the AP20 rounds, I've started off, like I said, with just a basic Mossberg. This is bog standard, straight as you buy it from Jaeger level 1. Nothing's been done to it. You can obviously mod to it in the future the more that raids you survive with it, and add to it and kind of make it a bit more personal afterwards. But just to start off with, we're starting off with a basic Mossberg. We're looking at the 6B23-1 body armor. What's an absolute awesome body armor you get from Ragman level 2, and kind of opens you up for level 3 body armor all the time. And the repair rate on this is amazing. One of the best kind of armors that you can get an awesome repair rate on. So you can take this raid after raid after raid after raid and still be able to get it pretty much near to full. So you're getting the maximum amount of protection and the best use out of it. It's a little bit more expensive than the other level 3 armors, but personally, if you want to, you know, be running this all the time and to be able to surviving raids, if you are surviving raids and be able to take it back in again without having to spend out on armor again, then this is definitely a good shout. You could also go for the combination rig level 4, what's also a new one, I think was a couple of patches ago. The only problem with that, again, like I said, the repair rate's really bad on it, so once you kind of use it for 1 or 2 raids, you kind of want to bin it and buy a new one. Obviously that's a bit more expensive, but I guess if you survive in a couple of raids, you've got the money to spare to do that, and you get in the extra level of protection against other people. But I guess at this point in the wipe, it doesn't matter too much, because if somebody is running decent ammo. It's going through level 3 just as much as it is going through level 4, so it's entirely up to yourself. But for going on to the helmet, the SSH 68, the bog standard go-to helmet for anything. I mean, the only reason you would not use this helmet is if you were going really geared, looking at level 4 helmets for, you know, upwards of 60-70 grand, but you don't need to spend that on. But for this, 21,000 when it costs rubles, it's dirt cheap, level 3, high ricochet chance, it's going to survive, it's going to save your life realistically more than anything else. And like I said, with that high ricochet chance, it's got obviously got a really high chance of ricocheting any bullet, depending on no matter what the penetration is of it, so that's really awesome too. Kind of moving on to the bread and butter of the build, obviously the main thing what makes this build so good is the shotgun buff and obviously AP 20 slugs. As said before, you could use for chellies if you haven't got much of a great shot, but to be honest, like I said, the AP 20s, you really can't go wrong with them. They absolutely ruin armor, and anyone who's running geared, whether it's factory or what kind of map you're running into, it's going to pretty much 2 tap someone to the chest. I think level 5 is 2 tap or 3 tap to the chest. Like I said, it's just an absolute ruiner to somebody who, you know, who's spent all that money on their gear. And like I said, it's not very expensive either. I mean, on the flea market, you can buy every 20 rounds. They're 750 rubles a round, obviously, what sounds quite expensive, but you don't need many of them. It's not like an AR where you have to buy like 120, 200 rounds. So you can get away with just buying 40. So this here cost me for 40 rounds of AP20 about 30,000 rubles. Also about the same price as the gun. And like I said, everyone knows in Escape from Tarkov that the ammo means more than what the gun does. And obviously with an 8-round capacity chamber in the shotgun, you got 8 rounds to try and kill that geared person before you got to reload again, what should hopefully be enough to kill the guy before you actually get killed yourself. But like I said, all the other stuff is kind of like whatever you really want to bring in with you. I've just bought a scav vest because it's the cheapest one, and like I said, the only reason I bought that is just so I can fit a car medal or a slayer in there. I mean, I have IFAKs, so I would probably use those for single slots and just ignore the scav vest and just take pockets. But again, that's entirely up to you guys what you want to do. And like I said, I'm building this specifically if I was in your shoes and that you don't have things like IFAKs available to yourself all the time, so you would use stuff like car meds and slayers, and you'd need a vest to put it in, so just a scav vest for that. And when it comes to bags, you don't have to run a bag. I would, but mostly I wouldn't really equate that into the price of the build, because as I said, most people have like this bags inside of bags inside of bags inside of bags, from where they've just done raids, saved them and just kept them, because obviously bags are really useful and not really necessary to spend money on, because I said that's what you're going to get your loot out with. And the other stuff like grenades and that, so I just like to have one just in case you never know when it might be needed. Like I said, if you flash somebody who's geared, and then be able to do easy shots to be able to smash them down to the floor and get all their gear and get out. So that's again just up to my preference, but really in total what I've added this up to, so the entire cost of the build comes to about 135,000 rubles, was not bad at all when it comes to like a budget build what can kill geared players. You could go even cheaper depending on how like sweaty you want to be, or to be honest, how good you think you are. You could remove things like the body armor and even the helmet and just go naked using the shotgun. If you feel like you're not going to be able to, you can kill them faster than what they can kill you, and if you're going against really geared players in the first place, this level 3 armor, most of the time they're going to be running good ammo, is not going to save you anyway, so you might as well be wearing nothing and just make the build even cheaper. And like I say, if you remove both of these, this is about 53,000 rubles and this is 21,000, so you're removing about 70-80,000 rubles for the build, and then it makes it super cheap when you're just paying 30,000 rubles or 60 altogether for the gun and the ammo, and then the little bits of meds that you bring in with you as well. So this is kind of the best way to do it. Like I said, what I'm going to do now is just get into some gameplay and show you guys what this kind of damage this gun can do to people, whether they're geared or not geared. Like I said, it absolutely shreds. And remember, like I said, guys, to like and subscribe for the videos for more. But thank you very much for tuning in, and enjoy the content.
Try campus. Oh, I just fucking ruined him. That's what I mean when I have this conversation, saying that scavs have like way more HP than anyone else does. Yeah, he's dead. Sorry, buddy. Look, I'm not extra camping. I just have to kill somebody who's in there and then make my way there, alright? Old man. Came out of there. Oh, hey, let's go, boys. Oh, we're gonna take the safe then. He took that gun. What was that? A TX5? Oh, that was a decent gun as well. Give me that. Give me that as well. Literally silent as the night. Scab though. Hey! That scab just flashed himself. He did. This is where I spawned, isn't it? Mossberg raid 1 complete. Hopefully.